Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are playing, again, the Amulet Timeless Lotus deck that Aspiring Spike came up with. If you haven't seen my original deck tech on the video, feel free to go check my other video on this. But basically the main things that I've changed compared to what Spike and most other people are playing online, there's not many of us playing it, but there are a couple, is I play the full 4 Storm the Festival, and I do not play any Khans. I think that Khan is just a little bit redundant in the deck. It doesn't really do anything I want it to do. I'd much rather have another copy of something else. So for example, Phyrexian Metamorph, which gives you more copies of Amulet of Vigor. I'd much rather that than a Khan. I'd also rather just a Storm the Festival than a Khan. So yeah, we basically just don't play Khan. And the deck is significantly more reliably like turn 2 and turn 3 kills because you don't play Khan, but it does mean it's a little bit more fragile. If you haven't seen how the deck works, or you haven't seen Amulet Titan as well, and you've been living under a rock, Amulet Vigor says whenever a permanent enters the battlefield tapped, under your control, untap it. Now these stack, so if you play something that comes in tapped and you have 2 Vigors in play, it gets untapped twice. What that means is, you play a Timeless Lotus, it comes in tapped, the first Vigor triggers, it makes 5 mana, the second Amulet triggers and you can make 5 more mana. And the deck basically tries to get as many Amulets of Vigors in play. You go cast a Golos. Golos goes fetches a Lotus Field. Lotus Field makes a bunch of mana. You basically make a unreasonable amount of mana. You dump it all into Golos. You dump it into Storms. You just go round and round and round. You use your Metamorphs to copy more Lotuses if you need more mana, and you just keep going up and up and up. And eventually, you cast a Door to Nothingness, and you target your opponent, and you make them lose the game. And it does say it comes in tapped, but we both know that Amulet of Vigor is going to solve that. And the other option is Emrakul. So the reason that I play a split like this is because Emrakul can be removed in certain situations, and sometimes Door can also be removed, things like Boseiju and Khan. So a 1-1 split is really nice. Other than that, we are not playing a sideboard. We don't need to. Deck is perfect. Why even bother? But no, I think the deck is very linear, so there's not really too much sideboarding I want to do whilst I'm still figuring out the main deck. And 2 Lotus Fields is very strong in this list as well. I originally played with just 1. The second one is really good because you want to be able to use Golos to go get them, and then Golos essentially often will net you mana. So you cast it for 5, but you'll get a Lotus and then get 6 mana if you've got a couple of Vigors, and then you just keep going and going and going. Anyway, that is the deck. Let's get into some games, and if you want to see more content, make sure to subscribe. I did just hit the 420 subscribers milestone, which is awesome. Thank you very much, guys, and let's get into some content. So peace. All right, we get to go on the play. Let's see what we can get our opening hand, and yeah, this hand looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and keep. This is a very easy turn 3 Golos, and my webcam's gone out of focus. There we go. So Gardens into Vigor is a really good start. Kind of gives the game plan away, but that's okay. We don't plan on the game going for too long anyway. We're against someone called Deathlighter. Lovely name. Leads off with a Bloodstained Mire. Not many decks play that anymore other than Scam. They play into a Stomping Ground. Sure. Oh, I guess Scapeshift does as well. Into Ragavan. See, like, not even not even 5-color Zoo plays Bloodstained Mire. They could be red-green Ponza, which is just like land destruction, but they're playing Mishra's Bauble, so maybe not. I have absolutely no idea what our opponent is doing. Not a clue. Wait, can we do it this turn? So, play Gruul Turf, use the red, copy the Amulet of Vigor, play Grazer, go up to 4, play Grazer, go up to 7, play Golos. Yeah, that seems great. Let's go ahead and do that. So Amulet resolves first, make some mana, use this, copy here, use the red, the bounce land trigger resolves, it goes back to hand, play Arboreal Grazer, play Gruul Turf, Put them on the stack so we get 4 mana. Bounce that back to hand. Then we can Grazer again. And does it make a difference? I guess we use the Gruul Turf this time. Yeah, we should use the Gruul Turf. Because if we want to try and activate Golos this turn, that's going to be the easiest way to do it. Get a good variety of mana. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess we should Stirrings first. Wait, does it make a difference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we should Stirrings first, just in case we find a Timeless Lotus, which we actually do. Sure, so we take the Timeless Lotus. Those go in any order, and I think we just combo off, right? So Timeless Lotus nets us 5 mana. God, this deck is absolutely ridiculous. So make a bunch of mana. It untaps. Make a bunch of mana. Cast Golos. Remember, this is turn 2. So we play Golos. Golos ETB trigger happens. We do want to activate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana we've got. So I guess we go for Mycosynth Gardens. And then we can get a 3rd amulet. Because it will tap for 2 mana. No would be 1 short of activating Golos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we go for Lotus Field. Just in case we can flash back like a Storm the Festivals or something. So tap for everything. Untap. I think we just go for green again. And then sacrifice it. And we just spin Golos. And see what happens. We are completely at the mercy of our own deck. Oh my god, I think we're going to do it. Alright, the turn 2 win. I don't think I've ever done this before, but it would be very, very sweet. Oh, this is confusing because it doesn't tell you which one is exiled with which. We've got 5 mana. We've got an additional land drop. So let's go cast the Grazer. Trigger, put in the Gruul Turf. I can't believe we're actually going to get a turn 2 win. This is awesome. Sorry for our opponent to have to sit here and lose to a turn 2, but it's all worth it. Better luck next time, I guess. I mean, technically we could still lose, but it's looking pretty good. Can be played until end of turn. Doesn't say which ones are for free, which is frustrating. But I think Storm is the best option first. Wait, no, Golos is essentially 1 mana, which would put us down. Yeah, we'll Golos first. It is safer to Golos. It doesn't matter which one we keep, they've both got Summoning Sickness. And we will just get... Doesn't really matter, does it? I guess we go for blue this time. And our opponent concedes. They don't even let us combo off. Complete downer on our opponent's part. But there you go, guys. Turn 2 win. What we would have done was gone up to enough mana, play Storm. Even if we hit 2 bounce lands, we would have had enough mana to flash it back, I think. And at that point, you just Golos activation, and that, you know. But yeah, turn 2. Really, really happy for that. I've been playing in paper quite a bit. And I've had quite a few turn 3 kills, but that's my first turn 2. I know they did technically just concede, but I think it was pretty inevitable at that point that we won. We had Storm the Festival into Flashback Storm the Festival, and that should pretty much be game with 2 Amulets of Vigor in play. So I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you do want to see more nonsense like this, make sure to subscribe. There is plenty more ridiculous gameplay where this came from. Let's go ahead and mulligan. Oh, this one's really dicey. Normally I don't like to keep a hand without a amulet in hand, but we've got 2 ancient stirrings, so I think we're going to go ahead and keep, and we'll put back a grazer because I think we're going to have plenty of mana anyway. Particularly with 2 ancient stirrings, I think it's more likely that we're going to find like mana rocks and amulet of vigors and things like that. So I'd rather have more top end because these don't really find win conditions. These find ways to make mana, not ways to kill your opponent. Opponent leads up with the turn 1 Ragavan again. God, so lucky. Oh god, we hit another storm. That is not ideal, but we've got another ancient stirrings. Sorry, we've got turn 2 ancient stirrings. Hopefully, finds an amulet of vigor. Then turn 3, we can play the amulet and copy it. What'd you get, opponent? They hit an Urza Saga. We didn't want that anyway. It's all good. Actually, maybe we did want that. It doesn't really matter anyway. Opponent fetches here. Are they just playing like mid-range Jund? They are just playing like mid-range Jund by the look of it. This is not Domain Zoo. You don't pair those lands together. Vesuva doesn't do anything just yet, but it can be helpful. So play the Gardens. And we will cast an Ancient Stirrings and hopefully find something to do with it. What do we got? Golos or a Timeless Lotus? I think we're just going to go for a bounce land here. Go for the red-green one. Always prioritize the red-green one because it helps us cast Escapes the Wilds, whereas we don't need any other colour other than for Golos activations and Door to Nothingness. So yeah, always take the red-green one. See what our opponent's got. Thoughtseizes is pretty much the card we're scared of the most because it would take this Ancient Stirrings. But their clock is quite slow at the moment. So they're just going to swing in for 4 here. Trigger Ragavan. What are you pinching from us this time? A Gardens. Okay, sure. Is that like a really British thing to say? I feel like sometimes I just say things that are very British. I can just imagine like someone with an American accent making a very, very poor English like accent.
Bro, British people just say fuck consonants, dude. Look at me and my boy. Bro, who the fuck are you people, dude?
Listen to a lot of podcasts where as soon as someone British comes up, they just make a very, very bad British accent, which is funny. What on earth is this? When it's a battlefield, touch a library and or graveyard for non-human creature cards. For a non-human creature card with mana value X or less, put onto the battlefield. If you do such a library, shuffle your deck. Sure. So they go get a 2-drop Goyf. Is that what they're doing? Why is it there? It's covering my lands up. Can you move this? Come on, opponent. What are you getting for 2 mana? A Hex Mage. Oh, sure. So they're going to remove this and turn it into an 8/8. For each non-human creature you control, you may have that creature assign combat damage though it weren't blocked. Okay, so they have unblockable and they have an 8/8. We look like we're in a bit of trouble here. Well, I guess we Ancient Stirrings. And still don't find anything. Okay, well we'll take the Boseiju. I guess we could have taken the Metamorph and blocked, but no, we can't even block. Okay, so yeah, Metamorph was not an option. We'll just play a land and pass the turn. So end of turn, they're going to make an 8/8, and then that will... Wait, is that enough for lethal? Because now they have a creature in the graveyard, which makes it a bit bigger. And then an enchantment... Sorry, a battle in the graveyard. Or does it exile itself? Oh, it's a flip card, so that doesn't work like that. Okay. Well, we're not dead then. Technically. 2, 5, 13. Bolt. Any instant or sorcery, sorry, no, not sorcery, any instant, even Thoughtseize yourself, take an instant would work. What could we possibly draw to win? I don't think there's anything. We draw an amulet, play the amulet, copy the amulet, dismember your own guy, sure. I get that makes your Goyf bigger. Oh, sure, they did it during the end step. Okay. Yep, that is lethal. Very nice opponent. They played a a very, very strange Jund list, which just happens to have a 4-mana 8/8. Not sure that's very good. I mean, it was good enough to beat us, but we also did nothing, so I don't know if that's a good metric to go off. And as I've said before, we're not playing a sideboard. The deck is already perfect. Why would you sideboard cards in when you could just have the best cards in your main deck, you know? Alright, let's go ahead on the play, and hopefully we can have an Amulet of Vigor or a Saga. Yeah, this hand looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and keep. It doesn't have a payoff. It just has a bunch of enablers, but we've got a Stirrings, and we've got a couple of draw steps. So we'll just lead off with the Saga and pass. Turn 2, we can just like play the Gardens, filter mana, and cast Stirrings. Really do like the artwork for Stirrings as well. That's really cool. Opponent cycles a Street Wraith. And anything else? Target us with the bauble, have a little peek. And they didn't use the bauble to target themselves, which to me suggests they only have shock lands and non-fetch lands in hand. If you have a fetch land, then obviously you would bauble yourself. EE on 1. Well, I'm glad that we have a Boseiju in hand here. So we can just untap here. Ursa Saga goes up again. How do we have to do this so that we can blow this up? Unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to play a bounce land here. And bounce the Saga. And just keep the Saga around in our hand. That's going to buy them 2 extra turns, which is very, very annoying here. Ah, okay, so they've got a Force of Vigor, which is why they're waiting. So they're thinking, do they pitch Force of Vigor, blow this up, and then make us bounce our own land? And if they do have Force of Vigor, I think that would have been a pretty good play. Yeah, that to me is a pretty big giveaway for they potentially having a Force of Vigor there. Because if you do Force of Vigor and blow up the Saga, the bounce land trigger then resolves, and then you have to bounce that, and then they would untap, play a second land, and we'd have nothing in play. So that seems like it would have been pretty strong. I'm just going to play Tarmogoyf. Seems pretty good. Got to get a clock on the field somehow. think we're just going to go ahead, play the Urza Saga again. We're going to have to run into it sooner or later. And just pass the turn. Use the Besieger at some point. Yeah, so we'll just take the 2 here. Hopefully they're just going to keep this mana up. That'd be a nice waste of their mana. They don't, they play the Scourge. Okay, sure. This is like an extra Death Shadow. Oh, we don't need to tap both. We'll blow up the Engineered Explosives. It does make their Goyf bigger, but we need to get rid of it, and it's fine to just use the mana here. So they can go get a Triumph here if they want to, or they might just want to keep the Triumph in their deck and filter it later. So we know what we're against. We're against Jund's Shadow. They're going to shock. That might just be to make the Scourge bigger for when they hit us. And we hit Rot Farm. Sure, so we can just make a blocker here. But I think we want to... Stirrings and play the Gardens, really. Alright, we'll take a Golos. Golos seems pretty good. We'll put those back in any order, doesn't matter. And we'll play the Gardens. And we'll make a dude. Just something to get in the way of our opponent. You can also just use them with a bunch of Timeless Lotuses, Golosses, and just make him like 5/5, 6/6s. I have killed people before with the Construct tokens. It does do the job. It takes a little while to grind it out. But you have enough ways of things like Vesuva and Bounce Lands to just get like loads and loads and loads of Urza Saga tokens. But in this case, it will probably just be to block this Goyf. Because if we let the Goyf hit us, then this gets bigger. Our opponent casts an Inquisition of Kozilek targeting us. Hits absolutely nothing because all of our cards are 5 or 6 mana. So the Scourge is a 20/20 minus the highest life total. So we're on 18, so it's a 2/2. I mean, it's not a 20/20 minus X, where X is the highest life total, because that would make Dress Down just broken, but it essentially reads like that. So we take 2 here, which now makes this a 4/4. See what else our opponent has got. They just passed the turn, so they could be representing a bunch of different types of interaction here. So obviously we'll float the mana and go get our Vigor. I think we just go for it. If they've got interaction, they've got it, but... Oh wow, okay. Was not expecting that. So we'll play the Rot Farm here. Are we actually going to get to go off? I assumed they had some sort of interaction. Maybe that's just me being pessimistic. So bounce a land back to our hand. We've got 4, 5, 6 mana. Play Timeless Lotus here. Our opponent is probably very tilted after losing on turn 2 to then us comboing off through a Engineered Explosives as well. So we'll float the mana, untap, and activate again. And 1, 2. Okay, so we've got 11 mana. Generally, you want to Golos after Storm, because Storm nets you more Vigors, which then means your Golos will get you a land that taps more times. Same with the Timeless Lotus, but if we Storm, we'd be left with... Wait, how much mana have we got? 11. So no, we can Storm and then still hit cast Golos. So hopefully here we're going to hit some more Vigors. Yeah, we hit 2 more Vigors, okay. So okay, as both of them. The Metamorph is going to come in as a copy of... I think we're just going to go for another Amulet and just go very, very, very deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cast a Timeless Lotus. Make 20 mana. 20 mana is pretty good, right? Oh, choose one to keep. Which one did we just play? This one. So we will keep this one. Put these all on the stack. And see if our opponent lets us combo off. I guess it could have been better to Golos there, just in case they did have Artifact Hate, then they could have blown up the Lotus then. But I think if they had Artifact Hate, they would have used it by now. So now we can go get cast Golos. Yeah, we should have just used all green, because we go get the Lotus Field here. Lotus Field taps for 3, 6, 9, 12 mana. And then we just activate Golos a bunch. Oh my god, this deck is so sweet. If you have these cards or you have a Mana Traders account, I strongly recommend playing this. Oh my god, we did not play around Terminate. Should have used the... Oh my god, I should have kept the green up. Oh, we still have the ETB, it's fine. We can still flash back the Storm. Unless... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Lotus here. Sorry, yeah, a Lotus. So all of these triggers make us a boatload of mana. The only thing we're missing is green, so we're just going to go green each time. Our opponent is... If they've got Endurance, that'd be really good here. Do they actually have Endurance? Okay, no. We have enough of every other colour, so we could go for white here if we want an extra Golos spin. But I think we can get more mana if we actually manage to get a Golos in play. So we have to sack 2 lands, and we will flash back Storm and just hope we don't whiff. It's very unlikely that we whiff, but we could, and we do. The rest go to the bottom of your library in a random order. So we actually don't get to go off here, which is very frustrating. These can go in any order, it doesn't make a difference. I guess we just go for Breeding Pool. Obviously we won't pay the life. We get a bunch more Amulet triggers, which will do nothing here. And we've managed to whiff, which very, very unfortunate. And we just have to pass and hope that we draw something. Like anything. Golos, Escape to the Wilds, whatever we... Storm the Festivals. 1, 2, 3, 4. And oh my god, this is... You could actually not make this up. This has just been an incredible game. Incredible round. This has been... Well played by our opponent. They set themselves up so that they can pull the game back. Well, I guess we make a dude. And... play a bounce land. This is going to go get a Vigor next turn, so then we'll have 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we just bounce the breeding pool. I think we have to just play the Grazer out as another blocker, just in case they have removal. Sure, we'll put the breeding pool in play. Cannot believe what just happened. Oh, actually, no, our opponent isn't going to kill us with the Tarmogoyf because they're about to exile everything. Okay, we've actually got a little bit longer than I thought. We're probably just going to have to go untap, make another construct, and then we have 2 3/3s. That's pretty good. Our opponent Thought Seizes targeting us? Sure. It makes their Goyf a bit bigger. Being able to make another construct token and then going and getting an artifact means we will have 2 4/4s in play, which is big enough to try and block this Scourge. I'm going to assume they have some interaction to make this Goyf bigger, but I think it would be greedy not to at least try. Oh wow, okay. And they just have another Tarmogoyf. Sure, okay. Alright, well, we are going to have to get very lucky here. We draw Golos, which is literally, I think, our best draw. Do we just... Can we have enough to spin? We float a mana, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 goes up to 9. 9 plus 2 more is 11. 11 is 5, 10, 1 short. Wait, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11. No, because the Golos will trigger to get us some more mana. Okay, we actually have enough to spin Golos. I guess we just float a colorless and we try and go for Golos. So we play the Sanctuary. These triggers don't matter because we can just bounce the Golgari land instead. Tap that and this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Okay, so we play Golos. Golos trigger happens. We will go get another land. Don't think it matters too much. I guess we go for the Gardens. If we get the Gardens, it'll only untap once though. I think that's too greedy. I think we have to go for a Gruul Turf. Gruul Turf will go up to 3 mana. 3 goes up to 8. It doesn't make a huge difference actually. Now we'll go for the Gardens. Alright, Golos. What have you got for us? Yeah. Yeah, feels like that's exactly what we should have expected. That is so brutal. Pretty much anything there would have been really, really good. Emrakul would have been great, obviously. A Timeless Lotus and a land. No, sorry, a Timeless Lotus plus pretty much anything that allows us to play another land. So another Grazer would have been great. an amulet plus a Timeless Lotus, an amulet plus a Arboreal Grazer, or an Explore, even another Golos or something. Just anything would have been better than that. So our opponent can just swing in with both here. We are just going to... Obviously we have to block there. If we block here... Yeah, we have to block, so we are dead to bolt. This does mean that they could now bolt our Golos to finish it off. Oh, no, they have a Mishra's Bulwark. I completely missed that. But I think I still stand by it. Like, I don't really want to die to a bolt. We'll give ourselves one extra draw step. And they played Death Shadow. Sure, why not? Technically, we can still win, but we have exactly one card. What's it going to be? Yeah, that's definitely not going to do it. Well played to our opponent. The game 1 was amazing, but obviously game 3 was brutal, absolutely brutal with the Consumes All. Well played to our opponent. There's nothing in our graveyard to do, so I guess we just concede. What is this? We don't get to go on the play. That's some bullshit. That's okay though. We'll go ahead and keep. We've got turn 1 amulet. Turn 2 we can copy the amulet, and turn 3 could be absolutely crazy with this Explorer in our hand. We've already got the door as well. We've already got the win con is already in our hand. Yeah, this hand is looking really powerful actually. Hopefully we're not against a blue-red deck. Counter spells are just so annoying. But other than that, I don't think there's anything we're too scared of. Opponent just deciding if they want to keep or not. Actually, no, I think they have kept because we've already said that we've kept. Here we go. Oh, our opponent mulliganed to 5. Okay, that's what they were deciding. Also, I apologise if you can hear anything in the background. In the UK at the moment, it's incredibly hot. We have like the weirdest weather where it's like miserable most of the time, and then during the summer we just get like really hot bits. So we are just not prepared for this kind of heat. I know people like in Spain or America are just like, oh, it's probably not even as hot as ours. But like we just don't, we aren't used to it, you know. Opponent is upkeep fetching. Not sure what that's about. And they just get a Team Triumph. Okay, sure. Why would you do that during our upkeep? I do not know. Oh, we draw a Saga? That is way better than a Mycosynth Gardens, I think. So next time we can copy the amulet, and then on turn 3 we're just going to have 3 amulets in play. How does anyone beat 3 amulets by turn 3? That's well, I guess we'll find out. Maybe we'll lose. So our Saga takes up to 2. Oh, they're fetching again. Are they going to like tap it down or something? I think they are. They're probably like rhinos, and they're just going to upkeep tap it down. Yeah, okay, sure. Well, they're doing it during upkeep, so we can't just float the mana, of course. You don't see very many Rhino players on Modo, at least from my experience. Okay, so we'll just play the Gardens here, I think. And pass the turn back. And yeah, next time we'll still untap with 3 Vigors. And hope that these Ancient Stirrings find something. What are we looking for? With 3 Vigors in play, we could just find a Lotus, and that'll be enough. Potentially. But we'll have to see if our opponent has any... Oh. They played a Grixis Triumph. This is also red as well, so I guess they could be creativity. I don't think creativity runs Fire and Ice anymore, or if it ever did. Okay, so tap that for mana, and wow, we've drawn the Grazer as well, so we're going to have pretty close to unlimited mana at this point. Hopefully they don't have some sort of shatter effect. Excuse me, sorry. And we draw an Explore. Wow, we have gone very, very deep. Very, very deep. So let's just lead off with a Grow Turf. Make 6 mana. This seems absolutely ridiculous to have this many figures in play. Then it just comes straight back to hand, and I think we're just stirrings first. What do we got? It's got to be the Lotus, right? Yeah. And they can go in any order, and that should, assuming they don't have like artifact hate for this could just be lethal. So play the Grazer, play the Grotef again, and you guys know the drill at this point. So we bounce goes on the stack first, so it resolves last, and we we have so much mana. This is turn 3. Why are people allowed to do this in Modern? We draw another Grazer. I mean, we're going to keep going this way because in case they have some sort of interaction, I'd rather have all the mana available for, I don't know, some sort of counter spell like mana leak effect. Well, Ancient Stirrings, just see if there's anything else. There is not, so we'll take the Saga, but I think we just go Lotus and hope that they don't have interaction for the door. Yeah, that should just be game at this point. So tap it for all the colours of mana, tap it for Wooburg, Wooburg again, and do you have the counterspell opponent? Moment of truth. They don't. Okay, sweet. I don't know why they made us do all of that when they saw this. As soon as they saw the Lotus, they should have just conceded. But I guess there's no edge to not doing it. Really, really impressed with that. The deck, when you get a bunch of Vigors in play, the deck is just ridiculous. Everything makes you so much mana. That's why we play the Phyrexian Metamorph, just as more copies of the Vigor, because as soon as you get to 2 or 3, then the deck is significantly easier to combo off with. With only 1, you don't really net that much mana. Like Explore just breaks even, and you have to use the Lotus Fields to do anything. But yeah, Phyrexian Metamorph, especially with the Storm, works really nicely. So we don't really know what we're against. I'm pretty sure it's some sort of Rhinos list. I don't know why people keep playing Fire and Ice in anything that isn't a Rhinos deck, because I don't think Fire and Ice is a playable card unless you want to Cascade. If you want to Cascade and you need interaction, then you use the Fire and Ice to get around having a cheap spell. But like same as like Dead God. Dead God's not a good card. It's just early interaction that doesn't mess up Cascade, you know? But I keep seeing people playing Fire and Ice in non-Cascade decks, and I think that's a mistake. I think it's a pretty bad card. Just having to wait for our opponent to try and figure out what they're going to sideboard against us, which we can't really blame them. They probably, oh, it's very likely that people just have never seen this list before. And that was on the draw as well, so that was turn 3 on the draw kill. And we were also slowed down by the Fire and Ice, but fortunately it just didn't matter enough. So we have turn 1 Saga, but then we have no turn 2 land drop. Yeah, I think we're going to have to send this one back. Okay, this hand is pretty good. We've got the Cataracts, fortunately, for the Vigor. So we'll go ahead and keep... What are we putting back? So we're going to go turn 1, Vigor. Turn 2, we can play the Gruul Turf, play the Metamorph, copy the Vigor. Turn 3, Lotus Field, comes in twice, untaps twice, and then use Storm. Yeah, we'll do that. We are all in on this Storm the Festival for resolving. Really sweet artwork on Storm the Festival, actually. Never really looked at it, but it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Opponent leads up with a Misty here again. Are they going to do the old untap? No, the upkeep fetch a Triumph in our turn again? That was a very strange... Oh, they're going to actually... Are they going to do it again? Why are they doing this? Do they just not realize whose turn it is or something? I can't see any upside to fetching during our upkeep. Okay, they're just going to have a little think. Oh, there we go. And we got very lucky because we drew an Urza's Saga, which is pretty much the best draw we could have had, other than another Vigor, I think. So the trigger on the Urza's Saga is on the stack. If they want to try and blow it up, they can, but they don't. Sweet. We'll play the Amulet of Vigor and pass the turn. Really, really hoping that we can get a nice turn 3 kill here, because this hand is lining up really nicely. We have got 3 amulets for turn 3 as it looks so far. 1 from the Saga, 1 from the Vigor, and then 1 from the Metamorph. I guess you could argue that we should save the Metamorph in case the Lotus Field hits not a lot with the Festival and we want to use this to copy something, but I think you just want to go all in. And we draw the door, okay. So I definitely want to play the Metamorph now, because as soon as we hit a Lotus off this, that would just be an instant win. Opponent is thinking during our draw step if they want to ice this down. They don't, okay. Opponent is very slow to respond. I don't think they're actually thinking on all these points. They must just be somewhat AFK. So we'll make the 2 mana and we're just going to Metamorph here. Bounce the bounce land again. When our opponent decides they want to respond. So we'll bounce the Gruul Turf. Obviously we want to keep that in hand. And we'll play the Metamorph, paying 2 life. So that'll come in as a copy of the Vigor here, assuming it resolves, but I'm pretty sure it will. Sweet. And we'll pass the turn back. I'm loving all the... Is this like Modern Horizons or whatever it is? Or is this Eternal Masters? I don't know what set that is. Oh, that's Modern Masters 2, I think, judging by the 2XM. But I love all like the full art cards. I think they look absolutely awesome. I love it how they made things like Burning Tree Emissary full art. Really big fan of Burning Tree Emissary. If you're a long-term subscriber, you'll know that that's a card that I do really, really like. I don't know how many videos I've got of Burning Tree on my channel, but I reckon it's close to 50, maybe nearly 100. I don't know how many videos are even on my channel anymore. Let's have a look. I've not really been counting how many videos I've made. I don't even have to see. Oh, here we go. Content. It doesn't say. It doesn't matter, but it's quite a lot. So is our opponent going to tap this down at all? Fortunately, it won't actually matter if they do. We draw another Saga. So we'll float the mana. We're going to get the third Amulet Vigor here, and as I said, we're just hoping for no counterspell. If we play this, we got up to 9. If we play the Gruul Turf, we got up to 6. We might as well just go up to 6 and keep the Lotus Field, because then we can keep the Lotus Field. If this doesn't resolve, we can try and use this later on to get up to 10 mana. And the opponent just concedes. They don't even make us do it. You know what? We'll find out what we would have hit. No, we won't. It's too laggy. Okay, well, our opponent's conceded. That sucks, but at least it's another W. I think 3 Amulets is very, very unlikely to whiff. But yeah, I guess that was a nice easy win. So there you have it, guys. Amulet Lotus in Modern. Managed to get a turn 2 win, which is absolutely insane. Really, really happy with that. If you want to see more content, make sure to subscribe. You will probably see more videos of this deck. I am really enjoying playing this in paper, so I will probably make some more videos on it. It is Pioneer season, so I will probably get around to playing some Pioneer decks. I do need to get some more practice in with my Blue-Red Phoenix list. The Demi-Lich version did really well at the European RCQ. I've tried it, but I didn't really like it, but I think I need to delve more into that and maybe play the Crackling Drake version as well and see which version I like for Blue Red the most. But anyway, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.